Hey everybody, today I'm going to be discussing my haul from Wet n Wild Cosmetics, which features all of the products from their autumn line. I have everything swatched up, everything tested, and I'm ready to review these products with you guys. I've also filmed a tutorial on this look that I'm wearing today. So if you like my look that I'm wearing today, you can click this box if you're on a PC and it will bring you straight to my tutorial video. If you're not on a PC, don't worry, you can just click the link in the info section and you can see how I did this look. With the exception of like my lashes and a little bit of sparkle, it's all Wet n Wild, so even some of the brushes. So let's get started swatching because I'm so excited to go through this haul with you guys. How about we do the shadows first? This collection featured 2 eyeshadow trios. The first one is Velour Vixen, and it features a soft, light beige brow bone shade. This shade is matte. It is pretty sheer. It's supposed to be just a wash of highlight. You can make this opaque by applying it over a primer or applying it over a cream like NYX's Jumbo Milk Pencil or just a similar shaded cream. I don't really recommend applying this wet, but that being said, for a matte, this shade, I loved that it was super buttery and smooth. It was not crumbly. The next shade is a crease shade, and this is more of a pearlescent finish, satin finish. It's got a little bit of a shine reflection in it, but it's not exactly metallic and it's not exactly matte. Now this shade also applied rather smoothly. The last shade is an eyelid shade, and this has a bit of sparkle. The sparkle really does not show up if you're using a fluffy brush. It gives you fallout if you're using a dense brush. This shade, if you want those sparkle to show up, you have to treat the shade like a glitter. Use a glitter adhesive, use a really good primer. Don't just go applying this on its own because you're going to have fallout, or you're just going to get a shade that just looks plain old black. Using this as a liner wet also helps to retain that shimmer. The second trio is Plaid to the Bone, and this I had a little bit of an issue with, but I have some tips and tricks that can help you have it work better for you if you're trying it out. The brow bone shade was magnificent. I would apply this on the lid. Like, I would put this in the inner quarter of the eye to really highlight it. Crease shade disappointed me because it was chalky and it was not as pigmented as I wanted it to be. This shade, you're gonna have to apply it over a primer. You're going to have to apply it wet if you really, really want it to apply better. Or use a fluffy brush and have that diffused color, because if you want it as pigmented as you see in the pan, it's going to be a little bit difficult unless it's sticking onto something, or you're using a really, really dense brush and layering it on. The last shade was another winner in this palette. This is one of my favorites. I love when Wet n Wild puts out shades like this, where when you apply it in some lights it looks like a deep brown, whereas other lights you can see that duo shift of the green. I feel like I could use this as exactly as it says and I would be satisfied with the look. I also feel like I could take that crease shade and layer brow bone shade over it and eyelid shade over it. I feel like I can make a look with just brow bone and eyelid shade and use the crease as a liner shade. I feel like there's a lot that can be done with this trio, and I look forward to filming a tutorial on that. I've already filmed one on the first one, so I'll make sure that my next one features this one so you can see exactly how it works. So now let's move on to the mascaras. The mascaras, they weren't as impressive as I wanted them to be. I do have very tiny itty bitty baby lashes that just they're not curled, they're not anything special. Like, I know some girls, they blow it out of the park with their lashes. Nope, not me. I have regular old lashes, and I'm showing you here now how I applied these. So I'm starting with the shade Glamethyst Rock, and this is a play on words of amethyst. Now, it looks so bright purple in the tube and on the wand, but when I applied this to my eye, it was just, unless you're right up in my face, you're not gonna really notice this mascara. I also wear false lashes, so unless I'm applying this to just the lower lash line, it's kind of not going to really do much. If you tend to just wear mascara, no false lashes, you could absolutely layer this up. I do suggest maybe using a layering mascara underneath, like a white mascara, and then apply this over it for much more impact, much more shade impact. Or you can just apply this heavy on the lower lashes and then you'll have that pop of color. If you pair it with a similar shadow, that'll help bring it out a little bit more as well. The next one is Sapphire Night Live. Again, this blue was super pigmented on the wand, but I felt like it just did not transfer. Like, there's some mascaras that I've tried that were like pops of color, and the mascara was just, that color was on my lid, no doubt about it, from a mile away. Whereas these just, nope, nope, nope. As for how they apply, they don't make my lashes spidery. They elongate them just a little bit. I don't see much volume being added, but I did notice that they were a little bit longer. Now, the next one is green, and this one is green as a thistle, and this looks deceptive. Like, on the tube, it looks like it's going to be like a bright green, but when you get it out of the tube, when you look at it on the wand, it's more of like a camo green, like a camouflage green. I did like the way this looked on the lower lash line when I applied it myself, but as you can see in the longer lashes, it's again, you're not really seeing it too much. Lastly is the most wearable shade of the bunch. Like, I feel like a lot of people, if they're not for that colored mascara genre, they're probably going to reach for this one. And this last one I believe is called Bronzed Brown. I've actually misplaced the label at this moment. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. You'll see a little note on screen. But this one applied, it made my lashes a little bit more brown. So if you have really light lashes, like, I feel like if you're blonde, all of these shades are going to perform great on you. You're going to see them. If you're blonde and you've been looking for more brown lashes, you can use this mascara for that. I did use it in my tutorial, and I paired it with a burgundy shadow on my lower lash line, and I feel like it did add a little bit of pop, but again, it's not terribly like pigmented. You're not going to see a huge deposit of color. The last thing we're going to be looking at is the matte liquid lipsticks from Wet n Wild. Now, Wet n Wild had put out liquid lipsticks in the past, and their formula was just no. I tried it, and it was like literally one of the worst products I'd ever tried in life. Like, it went on the list, and like, I just, in the trash, in the list, and in the trash. Whereas these are what I've expected from Wet n Wild for a very long time, and I'm not sure why they didn't put these out sooner. Like, why release matte liquid lipsticks when matte is on the way out? Like, I don't get it. I don't know why drugstore is so behind sometimes. Either way, these are fantastic. Transfer proof, budge proof. They pretty much feel like every other liquid lipstick on the market. If I can compare them to other brands, for example, ColourPop's a little bit more watery, LA Splash is a little bit thicker, kind of similar, I would say, to Jordana, but not as powdery feeling. Also kind of reminded me more of like a Kat Von D. If anything, they would be closest in formula to Kat Von D. That would definitely be like the closest. As for pigmentation, these were pretty great. I didn't really have much problems with them, which was refreshing. The first shade I'm showing you guys is Tulip To Quit, which, if you guys know, that's a pun on 90s MC Hammer, Too Legit To Quit. So I thought that that was cute. Now, this is pretty much the brightest shade in the bunch, and this is like a hottish, this is like a fuchsia shade, and this is definitely like the fall. This is a great way to incorporate pink into your fall looks, because it's a darker pink. It's not that super bright pink that we've seen all spring and summer. This is definitely going to carry you on if you'd like that pink look. Smooth, didn't bleed, didn't feather, dried down relatively quickly, transfer proof, very easy to apply, very pigmented. The next shade is How Fleek Is Your Love. And this is just your basic classic red. Again, no real problems with this shade. Applied easily, smooth, didn't feel heavy on the lips. Again, no feathering, no bleeding, very easy to apply, and of course you cannot go wrong with having a red in your collection. Now, the next shade is called Don't Be a Plum Plum. I'm not sure what that's parodying. Maybe somebody can leave me a comment in the comment section if you know what it's parodying. And this is a brownish red, and I feel like this is pretty much very fall. This is like a basic fall shade. So if you've been looking for that brown matte lip for fall, you can pick this shade up and you'll be fine, because it's on par with higher end liquid lipsticks, and honestly, you will be set. So set. The last one is my favorite, and this is Take It Like a Vamp, which I guess is a play on Take It Like a Champ, or I'm not sure. If anybody knows what this is in reference to, please be sure to leave me a comment. I love that this one looks like just a brownish red in the tube, but when you apply it, it's actually a purple based it's actually a red-based purple. And I loved how deep and rich and pigmented this is. If you watched my video on Jordana's liquid lip collection, lip color collection, you would see they had a similar shade to this, and it's just a performed like crap. And even Milani had a shade like this and it performed like crap. So it's nice to see this shade in the drugstore now performing like crap. It's refreshing. So very nice application, smooth, easy to work with. I love the applicators of these because you can line your lips with them, fill in, no problem. Very easy to use. The tubes themselves were actually very similar to like Dose of Colors and Jeffree Star's tubes. This is a nice way to get a cheaper product in the same kind of packaging and the same kind of formula, much cheaper. So guys, did you pick up any of the Wet n Wild fall collection? If you did, leave me some comments below. Let me know what you got. Let me know what you thought of it. And if you didn't, are you still trying to hunt it down, or you just weren't a fan of it? Let me know what you guys think. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to follow me on Instagram. I'm Recycled Stardust.